I'm often asked how to get images in Google Drive to show up in Google Data Studio. So let me go ahead and walk you through that process. Inside of my Google Drive folder, I have a folder here that has some PNG files. So I've got a number of PNG files. What I'm going to do is go ahead, I have the first one selected here. I'm going to hold down the Shift key and go all the way to the bottom and select the last image. So now I've highlighted all of the images within that folder. I will go ahead and right click and choose share. And then what I need to do is I need to make sure that this says anyone on the internet with these links can view. If yours does not say that, if it's restricted, you'll need to make that adjustment. Once you have that set up, go ahead and click on copy links, and then you'll go into your spreadsheet. So inside of your spreadsheet, just go ahead and paste those links in. After we've pasted that in, we'll notice that each of the URLs are actually stuck together into a single cell. Let's go ahead and separate those into their own cells. We are going to use a combination of two formulas. We are going to use the transpose formula and the split formula. So what I'll do is go ahead and type transpose, and I want to split our information. And it's saying, okay, well, what information do you want to split? So I want to split this information that we've already pasted in, our links. And it says, what is the delimiter? And so the delimiter is the common character that is separating each of your pieces of information. So in ours, it happens to be a comma and a space. So I'm going to take double quotes, comma, space, double quotes. And it's saying, do you want to split by each, remove empty text? I'm just going to type in true for both of these. And I'll go ahead and close that. Once I do that, you'll notice that all of our links have been put into their own cell. Now, the next step that we need to do is, when we have our links just like this, these will not show up in Data Studio properly. So we need to adjust our URLs. So the way that we will do that is, I'll just go ahead and use this over here. What I need to do is, inside of the URL, it says file/d/. I need to replace that with a different piece of text in order to have our image show up. So I'm going to use a formula called replace to do this. So what I'll do is I'll type in equals replace, and I'll go ahead and select this URL here. And it's asking for the position. So I would like to come out to replace this file. So that's actually the 26th character in the string. So I'm going to type 26, comma, and I want to replace the next 7 characters. So this file/d/. So I'll go ahead and type in 7. And then it says, well, what do you want to replace it with? So what we need to put in instead of that is thumbnail $ID equals. I'll go ahead and close that with my quotes. And now we can see that it's replaced this file/d with thumbnail $equals ID. And it is giving us this URL. And so what I can do now is go ahead and drag this down, and it will copy that for all of my URLs. And we have that there. Now we have another problem. This right now will not show up in Data Studio either, because we have this ending on our URLs as view $USP equals sharing. We need to get rid of that. And so we can get rid of that by using something called the left formula. So what I'm going to do is type in equals left. And I'm going to say, from this URL, what I want to do is I want to get the entire URL except for those last characters that are view $equals USP sharing. So I've already counted this out. And what we need to do is get this characters, the first 71 characters from our left. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in the number 71, close that. And now if we look at our information here, we have our drive thumbnail, and then it has the link here minus this view information. And so, yes, of course, I can just go ahead and drag this down. And now I have my links. Now, these are the links that we need that will work in Data Studio. We can make this a little bit easier by combining the replace and the left formula. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new sheet here. What I'll do is go ahead and pull in the original links so that you can see how this works. I'll just expand column A here a bit. And I'm going to say equals. I'll go ahead and go back to sheet 1 there, and I'll do a cell reference, say, okay, that's going to equal 83. And what I'll do is just go ahead and drag that down so that I get all of my URLs. What I'll do is I'll come over here and I'll say equals, and we're going to say left, and then we're going to say replace. And I want to replace this information. If you remember, we said the 26th position. We want to replace 7 characters with thumbnail, question mark ID equals. Go ahead and close that. And I need to finish off my left, so I'm going to say I want it to be the 71 characters from that. I'll go ahead and close that, press return, and it will give me that. Now, if you do get this autofill, then of course, you can go ahead and choose that. And we now have our links in here. This is what we will need to connect to Data Studio. In order to make it work in Data Studio, I need to make sure that I have a header. So I'm just going to type in the word image so that I have my header there. And this is sheet 2 within this file. So I'll head on over to Data Studio and I'll connect my data together. I'll start a blank report. Of course, you can add this to a report that you already have. Just get this connected. And my information is in sheet 2. And I'll go to add. When I add this in, it will go ahead and bring in a table with my URLs. And we'll notice over here my dimension image, it's still showing this as a string. It's not showing it as a URL. So if yours did not come in and populate as a URL, you can adjust this. So we can do that by going up to Resource, Manage Added Data Resources. And we're going to edit the resource that we added. Right now it says image is a text. Let's go ahead and change that to a URL. I'll go ahead and click on Done, close that. And now we can see that it's showing that as a link. So let's go ahead and change this. Once we have that, I'll just go ahead and click on the pencil here to edit it, change the type from URL to image. And now we have our images showing up. So once you have that in there, of course, you can adjust this and format it to get it to how you like. And this is the one way that you can get images that you have stored in Google Drive to show up in Google Data Studio. So I hope you found this helpful. I will go ahead and leave a template file in the description below if you would like to add your information in on this tab here where it says template. You can just go ahead and drop your URLs from Google Drive into here, and it will automatically create those image files for you if you'd like to use that.
Thanks for watching. You can find out more at smithvisualizations.com. Thanks for watching. You can find out more at smithvisualizations.com.